G'day folks, Rust Comment here. Welcome back to another video. We've got something a little special lined up today. I was reading through the iRacing release notes and realised that they've added Winton Motor Raceway to the sim. Now, I guess that's probably not exciting to most of you, but some of you may be aware that I grew up in this tiny little town in northeast Victoria, in Australia. There's not a lot of racetracks in northeast Victoria, but there is one, and you can probably guess what it is by now. So, this track, it's in the middle of nowhere, and I never would have expected to show up in something like iRacing. You know, there's not a lot that goes on there. The V8 supercars visit there every year. A couple of other small events happen as well, but it's just this tiny little track, and it's a track that I've been going to since I was a kid, and I've always dreamt of one day actually being able to race around there. And so to have it in iRacing is pretty spectacular. I'm really excited to go out there and race it. So we're going to jump in and we're going to give it a go. But before we do, if you are enjoying my videos and want to see more, I'd love for you to give that like button a tap. Or maybe even consider subscribing as well. It does really help the channel out and I do really appreciate it. But otherwise, let's go racing. Alright, here we are. Winton Motor Raceway for a 15-minute race against the AI in the new Porsche Cup cars. There are a couple of online races going on at this track, but given that I've never actually driven around here in real life, no matter how many times I went here, and I haven't done that much practice here since it came out in iRacing, I thought it was safer to just put myself against the AI, keep my safety rating, and not piss too many people off. So we're going to be starting at the back of the race. 15 minutes, yeah, in the Porsche Cup cars around the national circuit, I believe it's called. Yeah, which is the full circuit, including what's called the new section, which we can talk about when we get out there. But yeah, let's get this done. And then at the end of the race, we're going to take a look around. You know, I just want to explore, see what sort of details have added. I can see like a few little things that I remember from a kid up in the stands and stuff like that. So take the camera, take a look around and just see what they've added to this incredible track. I mean, I'm biased because I grew up right near this track, but I consider it an incredible track. So let's get out there, let's have a bit of fun. As I said, starting at the back.
15 minutes.
And
You'll need to get on with this.
Chat about Winton
The track temp
as well
is 52. The air temp
once we get going.
26 Celsius. Get ready. Floor it.
Not my best start. That's okay. Caught back up pretty quickly while there's a train here. Through the first chicane, and we'll dive up the inside.
On your left.
Onto the old main straight.
Clear left. On your left.
Through my favourite corner on the track.
Still there.
Explain a bit more when crew chief's not in my ear.
Hold your line. Still there. Hold your
Doing this
line.
big sweeper, which I haven't quite worked out yet.
Hold your line.
Cuts back in.
Hold your line. Clear left.
Just trying to avoid hitting anyone.
On your left.
And up in this super
Still
twisty
there.
back part of the track.
Still there.
Which is all just about
Still
patience.
there. Clear on the left. Left side.
Just really want to get on the throttle way earlier than you
Still
can.
there. Clear left. On your
But
left.
that was a decent exit. Got a good run here.
Clear left. Left side. Clear left.
And now taking the left turn onto what is considered the new section of the track.
Right side.
So it's not that
Still
new
there.
anymore.
Keep it steady. Hold your line.
Got this car on the inside I'd like to get rid of.
Clear to the right.
Yeah, so that new section of the track, or this new section we're still on,
On your left.
has been here as long as I can remember,
Still
really.
there.
I think I kind of remember them adding it
He's still
when I was
there.
a kid. But so it's a good, you know,
Still
20 years
there.
or so that it's been there, probably longer.
Hold your line. Clear to the left.
They do have just the what's known as the club configuration, which is just the old track in iRacing as well. But I thought we'd do the modern version, considering them as cup cars. So let's talk about this track. Winton is a tiny little town. I don't even know if you'd count it as a town. I'm probably pissing off some locals there by
Left side.
not calling it a town.
Still there.
There's this tiny little spot outside of
Hold
Benalla
your line.
in northeast Victoria in Australia.
Still there.
Probably about
Still there.
2.5 hours drive north of Melbourne.
Hold your
About an
line.
hour and a half before you hit the New South Wales
Clear
border
left.
if you're going straight up the freeway. And I grew up near the border in a tiny town called...
On your right.
Whoop, sorry,
Clear right.
locked up,
You're
got
clear.
distracted.
Far left. Still there. Clear left.
Right, yeah, so I grew up in a tiny town called Yakandanda, which is about 30 minutes from the border. So it's about an hour's drive for me to get to Winton as a kid. But it did mean it was the closest track
Just
we
done
had.
a 122.15.
And that meant that, yeah, pretty much every year we'd trek down, we'd get up early, and we'd head down to Winton
V12.
to go see the V8 supercars, Porsche Cup cars, Formula Fords, and the historics, which used to come here every year as well. So this is a track I've probably been to, you know, dozens of times over the years. They used to have track days here as well. They used to hold drift events. I didn't go to all of those. I never drove at a track day or anything, but this is what I'd consider my home track. And to see it in iRacing of all places is just insane. So I knew iRacing has some, you know, Australian tracks. So we've got Bathurst and Phillip Island here, and Oran Park, which is one of the smaller and now non-existent Australian tracks. But if someone asked me what I thought the next track to be added to iRacing would be, I would never have thought Winton Motor Raceway would be here. So to actually be able to drive around this track is, I don't know, it's kind of like a dream come true. I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, I can't believe I'm out here. It feels great. It's like being there. It's what I've always wanted to do. And this is one of the reasons I love sim racing.
You've just done a 124.22.
Even though, you know, of all the tracks in the world, this is probably the one I'm most likely to be able to drive around in real life. To be able to do it in these kind of cars just whenever I want. It's just like the little boy inside of me is just so happy right now driving around here. And I think, like, I know I'm biased, but I think it is actually a great track. I think it is a good addition to iRacing.
10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left. Keep
we
digging.
dive up
This
the
isn't
side
over
here?
yet.
Car left. Hold your line. Clear to the left.
I think it's going to make for some great racing. Like, just thinking about things like these cup cars are actually a lot of fun to race around here. It's wide enough that I can go side by side with the other cars.
Defend hard. Make them work for it.
There's enough straights and enough braking spots, so there's good overtaking opportunities. But then I think about cars like the Skip Barber or the TCRs or GT4s.
Widener 122.07.
As that car locks up and goes very wide. Don't really join
Clear
into it.
left.
But yeah, I think there's going to be some great racing to be had here in lots of different cars, and I'm excited to get involved in it. So we'll take you for a lap now. This is the current start-finish straight.
P10.
Come flying up here, hard on the brakes. You can cut quite a bit of this chicane, but the curbs are quite bouncy. Run right out wide, miss the wall, and then into this. This is where you can show people are super committed. If you throw it into the old first corner, swing it out wide, use all of that curb, and then that really lines you up for the next right-hander. This sweeping corner, you just waiting and then duck back in. I've missed the apex there. And just trying to get a good run here so you can dive under brakes and try and get a pass done there. I've seen lots of passes happen over there, happen there as a kid. And then here, yeah, we're back into this patient game of patience where you're just waiting to get on the throttle. There's a little bit of camber here to help you, but it's so easy to just run it out wide. And then into this left-hander, it's always sharper than you expect it to be. At least you can use the curbs here. And then this straight feels like it's just not quite long enough. It seemed really long when I was watching the kid, but just there, you feel like you're just getting on the power, just bringing it up to speed, and all of a sudden you're under the brakes. So yeah, that's a lap of Winton. It's
The gap
pretty
in front is now 1.8 seconds.
Pretty,
That was 123.58.
And now, yeah, this corner, it's just, you feel like you can brake late, but as soon as you get over that crest, the car
That's
gets
half
light
distance.
and
The
tries to
fuel's
jump
okay.
away from you, and then as you turn in, you go down the hill again, and while the car's really light, it's trying to drift out wide there. Oh, I've taken it too wide.
The stewards have warned us for cutting the track. Keep it between the white lines.
Whoops. That's not the line through that curve. But that's another one of those turns where if you commit, you know, there's a lot of time to be gained there. And I think that's one of the things that makes this track quite good. Is there's just like lots of little things where if you show commitment, you can really push it to the edge. You can make up a lot of time. Right, we're going to try and catch this car ahead. I don't know if we're going to be able to, especially given my mistakes, but we've got some time. Oh, never mind. He's facing the wrong way. Alright, we're off
P9.
again. Up into P9, see if we can catch the car ahead now. Otherwise it's going to be a bit of a lonely end to the race. See, so you can push it out quite wide here. Just trying to miss that wall. As I'm getting more used to the car and a bit more comfortable pushing it. Using all of that curve there. A bit more than all the
Stay
curve
between the lines, please,
there.
Isaac.
A bit too much commitment. And I just really want to, if you duck through, just clip that curb. There's so much time to be had coming into here. Out around the tree. I have to applaud them for that tree looks exactly like I remember it looking. It's kind of an iconic Winton tree, you know, like the fact that the track loops around it. It's always just made it an iconic site for Winton. So yeah, we've got the two layouts, obviously the national layout. The club layout which just goes straight, so rather than turning left there, if you kept going straight, that makes it the club layout. And what that means,
5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left.
if you look to the right here where these tyres are, you can see the track comes out just before this chicane. So what that gives you is a kind of
8th place.
three-pronged chicane on the national circuit, which is quite interesting as well. I just love seeing those billboards there. Those billboards are, you know, they're the billboards I remember from coming here as a kid. So obviously some of them have been updated, but some of them haven't. Like, we'll go through that more when we take a look at the track afterwards, after we finish this race. Oh, as I lock up. But yeah, I just can't get over the fact that I'm here. That I'm, you know, sitting in my rig at home in Melbourne now and driving around this track that I've dreamt of driving around since I was a little boy. This is cool. This is just really cool. And I'm really excited to continue to do this in lots of different cars. Try out lots of different things. iRacing, you've absolutely nailed it. Right, so we've got a few more laps here. Probably another 3 or 4 laps. See if we can get below 123 if I really push it. I'm probably going to end up crashing if I do that, but we'll give it a go. Because it looks like everyone around me has crashed out and disappeared. I'd love to get this corner right. I just haven't quite figured it out yet. Like, I feel like I'm getting better at it. Like, that felt okay, but not great. I feel like there's a trick to it that just hasn't clicked with me yet. Same with this whole back section. So whenever we came to Winton, we would always stay on the old main straight because both me and my dad loved the old first corner, which I guess is now turn 3. So we spent most of our time down there. We'd do a couple of walks around the track, like see some different viewing spots, but we always kind of ended up there. So I'm less familiar with the back end of the track, like watching cars go through there.
You've just done a 123.69.
Whoop, and then
2 minutes
lock
to
up
go.
into
2
first
minutes.
corner. Yeah, so we were always around this area, and so I'm definitely the back side of the track is the side I've seen the least, that I know the least about. Even from watching on TV, I feel like maybe the coverage just wasn't as good there, or I don't know. It just feels a little bit more unfamiliar to me than the rest of it. I was actually chatting to my dad about this when it was announced, and he told me, which I had heard before, it was like, but Dick Johnson once described this track as going round and round the clothesline. And I get that. I can understand that. That back section there, as I stuff up that exit, is just, you just feel like you're going round and round a clothesline. In one direction, then the other. As we come to white flag, sorry. Last lap of the race. Try to give it one more shot. But yeah, I can really understand it. It's fun though. It's just a lot of fun to drive around. And it's the sort of track where you can race side by side. It's wide enough to race side by side. It's flowing enough that you can kind of hold your own around the outside of a lot of corners. Sorry.
We'll be warned about track limits.
Like if you could have a lot of good races here, a lot of close racing can happen at this track, which is really good, really fun. So looks like we're going to finish 8th. We're in a bit of a no man's land. With 8.5 seconds ahead, 6 seconds behind. But, I mean, we started at the back, we had some good racing. And I've just enjoyed driving around here, even those times where there's no one else around. It's just fun to drive around here. It's been great. I love this. I know I've said that before, but...
That's a new fastest lap for Bell, 123.61.
Alright, on to the main straight. Take the checkered flag. And that's it, race over.
Place.
So,
there we go, it's over. Bring it back round.
You know, 8th place. Not too bad. Could have gone worse, could have gone better. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy that I finished, that I got to drive around here. And now, let's go take a look around. Let's get out of the car and see what's around. Alrighty, so here we are at Winton. We're just on the main straight at the moment. Let's take a look around, see the sort of detail they've added. So as we come down this main straight, as I said, this is where we used to sit, up here under this tree. And, so move the thing. One of the things I wanted to check is there was always this sign. Yeah, it looks like they've updated it. But, you know, it's the Winton Motor Raceway sign. This is where race control was. You can see all the fans standing here. That Jam Donut place was there. And you know what? I'm going to put it out there. I wouldn't be surprised if that was their phone number. But yeah, it's cool to see like that they've added this level of detail. There's the old hot dog stand. And yep, they've got this, so all the overflow car parks used to enter from, this is the main entrance gate. You can see the ticket thing there. They even got the upcoming events coming on. What's going on here? Let's take a look. Can we read this? Not quite. I mean, there's the V8 supercars, Triple M radio, just everything that's going on. The classic kiosk. Now this was the iconic kiosk, right? So here's where you get your your chicken and gravy roll. And I love that they've added this. Like, even just the paint of where you'd line up and things like that. And then, so it used to be you come along here, you get your chicken and gravy roll. And then this was the entrance to the pits. Now, the fences are kind of missing, but this is the old pits. Here's where you get your, like, scrutineering and stuff done. All the old garages, especially during the historic seasons, these were all open. So you could just come walk through them. I don't think you could go into the V8 Supercars pits when they were on, but this would be where, like, the support races and things are. So let's have a wander through all the garages. Obviously, these ones close up, so they're a bit fancier. And this was the next thing I was about to check if it was here. But this is, I just remember, this is the first time I realized that race cars need fuel as well. So there's the petrol station where you fill up your race car with its race fuel. A little coffee shop in here. More garages. Oh, I've spent hours wandering around this paddock, and to see it here is just insane. Toilet box, and then, yeah, this is where you were never really allowed in here because this is where all the V8 supercars were. But it's just incredible to see that they've added so much detail, like all the classic things that I just remember as a kid going to see. And then, as I was mentioning before, these billboards. 102.1 Edge FM is just like the classic local radio station. And then AM radio. Like all these classic, you know, redback promo and uniforms is probably just a local business. I think that might be newer than when I was there, but to see all these classic things is just incredible. This is the other main popular spot to sit, was like you'd walk around, you got this nice banked area so you could see them coming down the hill and taking this exit. And then you'd have to wander around. As I said, we didn't often go out the back of the track that much. But yeah, lots of people used to park up here, have their camping. You could watch all the way along the edge here. I'm pretty sure this Maxibon, this Maxibon billboard was there when Maxibons were first released, and they've just never changed it. So to see this come to iRacing is just incredible. And the level of detail they've added. As I said, the iconic tree, just a couple of layers of tires around it. So, you know, don't want to have an accident into that, but I'm sure it's fine. And then what else have we got here? The Portaloo's up, more camping, obviously some sort of hospitality tent over in the background. I never went out there, so I'm not sure how accurate that is, but I trust it's there. And then you could never really go spectate down this side from memory. I don't know why, I just don't know if there wasn't a way to get there or I didn't know about it. These ones all look new. And then there's always this really interesting pit entrance. So you come off into the pits. You've got this sharp right-hand turn, flat out, and then onto the pit limiter, and then you've got to do this little zigzag. I remember seeing that as like, you know, trying to take the racing line through the pits to get in. It's just cool. I'm just really excited about this. This is the old version of the track I was talking about. So if you don't turn right there, come straight down, and then you've got this, it's like right, left, right. So it just becomes a bit more of a flowing 3-part chicane more than anything. And then this here used to be how you get back into the paddock. So cars would drive in. Obviously, the road doesn't actually end there. It goes up into the car park, and then they'd come out onto the track here. And then during races, this is the old pits. So I'm pretty sure in iRacing, looking at this cone here, if you're using the short circuit, this is the pits. It's quite a small pits. It used to be where, yeah, like all the safety vehicles and stuff would be parked most of the time. But that would be the pit lane. To look like typical Winton fans. Take of that of what you will. But yeah, that's Winton Motor Raceway. I am just blown away that they've added this to iRacing, and I can't wait to do many more races here. But I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, feel free to hit the like button. If you want to see more like this, feel free to subscribe as well. I will be doing more videos. I'm sorry I haven't been posting as much. I've actually been out with the spicy cough the past week or so, but feeling better now. So hopefully more videos coming soon. But otherwise, thanks so much for dropping by. Take care, and until next time, peace out.